Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of 5 Favorite Box Sets. So as part of my music collection, most of you know I have over 11,000 CDs, but I also have over 200 box sets. And so while I typically focus on the individual album, for this series here, I'm going to be focusing on my mini box sets. And this one in particular, we are going to do a special metal edition. So this one here actually being episode number 6. You haven't seen any of these 5 boxes, even though we are going to pull together 5 special metal bands to do this on. And before we get into it though, if you are new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this with 5 favorite box sets, metal edition, episode number 6. So no particular order here, but what I want to do first is talk about a little bit about what makes a good box set. So of course, a variety of material, having alternate takes, demos, B-sides, outtakes, live things, you know, rarities, that kind of stuff. To me, just a box set of album cuts. I've already got all the albums, right? So I need something that's a little bit more, and of course, something for the hardcore fans, that unreleased material. Then if you've got some cool, you know, books, memorabilia, stuff like that, it's even better. And these box sets have some of that cool stuff in it, so I'm going to be showing you as we unbox it. First one up here, Megadeath War Chest. Look at this thing. It's an embossed raised cover, just very, very cool. Book style. We'll get into it in just a moment here. Came out in 2007, 15 years ago at this point. 5-disc box set, 4 CDs plus a DVD, and it spans their first 10 albums, starting with Killing Is My Business in 1985, going up to The System Has Failed in 2004. So featuring 78 tracks, chronological order, 47 rarities. That's nearly 2/3 of the entire tracks are rare on this thing. Now, of course, some of these would be issued later on album reissues and things like that, but when this thing came out, it was a godsend. It was full of rarities and things of that nature. I just couldn't get enough of it at the time. Of course, it has the hits on it and deep album cuts, but it's also got alternate takes, soundtrack recordings, outtakes, demos, B-sides, and live versions on this thing. And it breaks down like this. We got disc 1, 17 tracks on it, 6 rarities. Disc 2, 19 tracks, 11 rarities on that one. Disc 3, 17 tracks, 5 rarities. Disc 4, 15 tracks. This one features an unreleased live show from 1990, so all unreleased. And disc 5, which is the DVD on here, 10 tracks featuring an unreleased live show from 1992. So again, all unreleased tracks there. So let's take a look at this thing. This thing originally came with a plastic cover that went over it, that protected it, that kind of made it look like it was bloody and stuff. Mine is long since cracked and fell apart, you know, just the age of these things, right? But this one is a book, and book style, I should say. There's the back sides. You've got all the track listing on it, and I do love those. And then, of course, this thing just opens like so, and you've got 2 of the discs there. The book in the middle of it we'll pull out in just a moment. 2 more discs, and of course the DVD and that part. And so the book of this thing, if I can slide it out here, just pulls right out of the side. And so very cool looking. Kind of wish it was a hardcover. You know, today if they did it, I think they would make this thing like a limited edition hardcover. But at the time, box sets weren't quite what they are today. Now box sets are really big business and stuff like that. So there's track by track info and everything on here. Very cool book to go with this thing, but I've just always loved the cover of it. You guys see me, I use it in my background a lot just because of how great it is. All right, so let's stay on the big 4 thrash and let's move into Slayer. Look at this thing here, Soundtrack to the Apocalypse. Looks like a, you know, ammo case kind of a thing. This is a deluxe edition, which features an extra CD that was not part of the original. So came out in 2003, released 19 years ago at this point, 5-disc box set, 4 CDs, 1 DVD. Remember, the original one only had 3 CDs, 1 DVD. This thing here, 5 discs total. So spans their first 9 albums from Show No Mercy 1983 up through God Hates Us All in 2001. 88 tracks on this thing, chronological order, 56 of these are rarities. Again, nearly 2/3 of the tracks on this box set are rare. Containing hits, album cuts, and I know that sounds kind of funny when we say it about a thrash band, but you know, the big singles are the songs that we know and love the bands for. I still consider those hits, regardless of how successful they were. So you've got those, album cuts, alternate takes, soundtrack recordings, outtakes, some home recordings on here, which are like demos, rehearsals, and then live versions on here. Disc 1, which is a CD, breaks down into 18 tracks total. No rarities on this one. And Disc 2 is also a CD, 22 tracks, but there's 8 rarities. And so that really goes through the entire run of their albums at that point and tacked on a bunch of rarities at the end of it. Then Disc 3 is 17 tracks, all of those unreleased. Disc 4, which is a DVD, 17 tracks. That's from various live performances, TV performances, things like that, all unreleased. And Disc 5 in here, which is called The Blood Pack, and I'm going to show you that. It's really cool. 14-track live show from 2002, all unreleased. But let's take a look at this thing. So, as I mentioned, this is what they call an ammo case, right? It is just cardboard, but it's made to look like one. Very cool. We lift, let's turn it around. Lift the top like that and you can see what's inside. I'm gonna have to put it down to pull the stuff out, but that's how it works. And so first thing up, I will show you this. This was on the back side of it. That's the card that lets you know everything that's there. So I hang on to those so that I can pull those out and you know, have a look at them. The CDs in here are in jewel cases, you know, and this was what, came out in 2003. So kind of cool, individual jewel cases for each of these things. And each one of these things does have a an interior shot of one of the guys in here. I'm not going to open them all up, but there was something a little more than just a piece of paper in this. So that was very cool too. Then we've got in here, of course, we've got a book. Looks like that. Very cool. We love that logo by them. Lots of great shots from the guys and stuff. And it does go through and give you a cool history and everything. And then we've got track by track commentary type stuff in the back of this thing. So there you go. Breakdown of all of that sort of stuff. But what's cool in here is the rest of the stuff. So let me pull that out. And so we do have a tour lanyard in here. I've kind of tied it up to keep it you know, good. So that, and then there's a cool Slayer flag. Never taken it out of this thing, but you can see that it's the logo, right? If we flip it like that, they do, you know, have those at the live shows. But this is the cool thing. This 5th CD only came in this deluxe pack, and this is what they call the blood pack. And you can see there's liquid red liquid, where, you know, but like blood, and it's got little skulls in it. And if we move it around, those skulls move. Now, the original version of the Blood Pack came from the Seasons in the Abyss album, and I think it was from War Ensemble, I could be wrong. Single, had 3 tracks on it, and it came like that, and you could buy it that way. It was just a regular CD single in a Blood Pack. So I have that, but my version, unfortunately, is completely dried up. The red liquid is gone, and the skulls are just kind of crystallized in there with the leftover bits of the red. But that is the cool thing, and that's the thing that everyone loved about this box set, and you know, still wants to get a hold of that. Okay, so continuing on with the big 4, why not? Let's look at Metallica, right? You recognize this thing here? Even though it's all white, it is the Coffin So Death Magnetic 2008 Deluxe Box Set Edition. Interesting, no information on this whatsoever that you would know it was from Metallica. I'm going to get into it, and of course we'll show you the innards of that, but released 14 years ago, only available through the band's website. It is a 3-disc box set, 2 CDs and a DVD featuring 30 tracks. Disc 1 CD, which is the album itself, 10 tracks there. Disc 2, also CD. The album, but in demo format. All 10 tracks, all unreleased, only available in this box. And Disc 3, the DVD, is the making of the album, and it has all 10 tracks on it as well. Again, all unreleased and only in this box. So this thing, again, is another cool thing that's got a lot of cool merch and stuff in it. So this one here just lifts off, lift top style box, still all white in this thing. On top of it, we start with a poster that's in the shape of a coffin. Let me see if I can open this thing a little bit, show you what it is. We'll just open a couple of it, but it unfolds to show all the members in this thing. What the heck, let's do the whole thing. There we go. Sometimes it's hard to work, but that's the first thing that's in here. And then we've got a flag, which I'm not going to unfurl. These things I've kept sealed in here. Says Death Magnetic on it. We do get a shirt, same thing, logo in here. I think the shirt was like extra large only kind of a thing. You know, they do that a lot of the time. Death Magnetic, you could go and download, you know, free live albums, stuff like that. So they gave you a card to do that. There's guitar picks that are in this thing, right? There's the album in here, which you guys have all seen and you know that. So I'm just going to show you the two additional CDs, if I can get them out. It's a little stuck here, sorry. Okay, so we have Demo Magnetic, and again, it's in jewel cases, but it's in these cool special European ones, which I like. These things are really sturdy and whatnot. And then you get the Making of Magnetic, which is the DVD version of this. All 10 tracks are in there. And then we've got one last thing here. We've got a lanyard Death Magnetic thing on this as well that comes with this. So there you go. That is the Metallica one. Pretty cool stuff. I know it's just the Death Magnetic album itself that comes with it, but that extra stuff, the demos and the DVD, for me, made it really worth it, and I've always really kind of cherished that box set. That's about the right amount of bonus material from Metallica that I can take. These other ones that are like 15, 16 CDs that they've been reissuing, I've yet to pick one up because it's just overkill in my opinion. That's a whole other story. Okay, on to the next box set. Motorhead, Stone Deaf Forever, 2003. Love this thing. Just, you know, at that time, metal bands were not getting box sets and whatnot. So the fact that Motorhead got a box set was pretty cool. So released 19 years ago, 5 discs in all CDs in this one. Career spanning 1975 up to 2002. And it's the only box set that was, you know, with full band approval, official, that kind of thing. There had been some other things that had been done, but not with the band's approval. So 99 tracks, almost 100 on this thing. Chronological order, 28 rarities, 19 previously unreleased. You got the hits and album cuts on here. You got some non-album tracks, like ones that were released only as singles, but never on albums. Soundtrack recordings, tribute songs that they recorded, you know, for other bands, BBC recordings, and live versions on here. So disc 1, 22 tracks spanning 1975 to 1980, 10 rarities on that one. Disc 2, 21 tracks spanning 1980 to 1986, 9 rarities. And Disc 3, 19 tracks spanning 1987 to 1996, 2 rarities on that one. Disc 4, 16 tracks spanning 1996 to 2002, 2 rarities. And Disc 5, 21 tracks, but it's all live on this one, spanning 1978 to 2002. 5 rarities on here, but lots of these live albums are now out of print that they're from. So there's really kind of more rarity on this stuff just based on what's in print and what's out of print. But let's take a look at this beautiful thing. So old style box set that lifts off like that. Then we've got a little poster right on the top of it. I'll open that in just a moment. We have the book itself, and then we've got CDs, and I'll open those up in just a bit. Let's look at this poster since it was the first thing out. Nice cool one right there. Then we've got the book itself, which again, very well done. Lots of great write-up. I mean, look how dense that writing is in this thing, right? And just all the images, they just find every version of the album cover and cool shots from the time period and whatnot. Just great, great stuff throughout this thing. I mean, it's fully written up, you know, family tree, like all kinds of cool stuff in this. And then we got the CDs that's in here. And I'm not going to take them all out, but what I'll pull out, each one has a different album cover. They are in jewel cases. So again, you got all the track listing and everything on it. Let's open one of these up because, oh, see, there is something on the inside of each one of these too. Different band shots from the era that it was part of. Now, the 5th disc that was in here, that live disc, comes just in a cardboard sleeve like this. I don't know if it was intended to be limited edition. Maybe the 4 CDs themselves was all this was going to be originally. But there you go. That's why that's that way. So cool stuff. Lots of nice memorabilia. All right, the last one that we're going to look at here is a major one. People love this thing. I love this thing. Iron Maiden, Eddie's Archives. Look at that embossed metal box. Not cardboard, metal, right? Look at the Iron Maiden logo on this thing. The thing is beautiful. So Eddie's Archives 2002. This one here is a first edition, released 20 years ago. 3 double CDs, so a total of 6 CDs total on this. So that first edition thing I'm talking about features a family tree in here that is numbered. So that's the first thing. The original version of this was a numbered limited edition. The lining in here is blue. Later versions of this, they changed the lining to red. And there's a few other things like that throughout this thing. But it is a first edition, career spanning archive of their rarity. So this is not a hits type thing. This is all rarity. 77 tracks, all rare or unreleased, containing live BBC recordings and B-sides. Disc 1 in here. Let's actually open this up and let's look at the CDs as we do this. So this is the top. It just lifts off. It's hinged on there. But again, it's beautiful. There's that family tree I was talking about. You get a cool shot glass and there's the CDs in it. Now I'm going to pull these out. So first one in here, best of the B-sides. Eddie showing his butt. I guess that goes with the B's, right? 2 discs in here, career spanning collection of their B-sides featuring 31 tracks. Disc 2, BBC Archives. Each one individually done in here. Each one has its own booklet in here with write-up, photos, just great stuff going on inside each one of these. So you don't get an individual booklet, but you get, a full booklet, but you get an individual booklet with each one of these. And I'll even open that up just to show you how that's done. So that's always kind of cool. I did like how they did that here. And that's got 4 BBC recorded live shows on it, 28 tracks. And the third disc, Beast over Hammersmith. This one here is a full live show, 1982, featuring 18 tracks. And so remember, all the material on these, unreleased stuff. So very, very cool. And you can just put these on the wall with the rest of your CDs if you want. That's why I always kind of like the ones that came in jewel cases, because I could just take one disc out and enjoy it. But let's look at this little shot glass, which has little faces of Eddie and feet of Eddie on here. Very cool. And of course, when you look at the bottom of it, you can see Eddie in it. So when you finish your drink, you're looking at Eddie. And then we've got the family tree, which has a ring on it with Eddie's face. And I'm going to slide that off, and we will open this thing up now. And then you've got the full family tree on here, of which there is the numbered limited edition. That's the part that is different that you won't see on the later editions of it. And just to show the inside of it again, blue instead of red. But there you go. Those are my 5 favorite box set metal edition, right? There's been some other metal ones in other versions that we've looked at and stuff, career spanning and, other ones and so forth. But this one here was some really cool metal box sets, and I just had to put them all together in this. And so for related videos, I have done full reviews for the Slayer box set, the Metallica box set, and the Iron Maiden. I'm going to leave links in the description if you want to check all of this out to a much higher degree in detail. And certainly if you've enjoyed this video, consider sharing it out on social media. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye, everyone.